Alright, welcome to my X2 build with the finest videography that a iPhone can provide. Very stock X2 from Harbor Freight, 44991. I'm sure you all know what that is. I did the installation of a Fignoggle design DRO. The DROs came from a discount machine on eBay for the three of them. Made up the brackets. On the Z-axis, it's just a simple lower bracket, one block, and the top is just a bent up bracket that it comes with and a couple of washers. That seems to work pretty well without any real major problems there. The Y and X axis were a little bit more involved. The Y axis bracket was a little bit more of a challenge to machine, but still not too bad. And it's a good place to start if you haven't done any machining before, or like me, it's been a while since you've done any. This is the Y-axis DRO, and some of the problems that I found with that had to do with the gib lock interfering with the mounting point for the scale itself. I made a little ramp out of just some of the strapping material that comes with the X2. I just cut it up, hammered it flat, smoothed off the edges. Makes a great little shim for various things, but I put one of those little shims in there in between the scale itself and the mounting bracket. That way when the Y-axis comes back, the lock itself would kind of ramp up there. So that's kind of a problem. That's how I fixed it. I don't know, I'm sure you could re-engineer that a little bit. Other than that, it seems to work pretty well. The DRO for the X-axis that you see up here had one problem that I ran into. If you have the vise anywhere where you typically use it, you can see that where the cutter would be, this is typically where the vise would be on the table. It covers up the display for that DRO. So yeah, you can move it around a little bit, and maybe I suppose if you did the cutting from this side, maybe that would solve that problem. But generally speaking, I like the chip spinning the other direction, so that's kind of how I did it and the problem I had. But whatever. The DROs work pretty well if you're doing manual milling, like I've been doing here. DROs really help. If you're doing a CNC conversion, then you're really not going to need DROs too much longer anyway. But in any case, Fignoggle design, it was probably a good place to start. I think the designs were $10, something like that. A couple of things that I did to really help out. Instead of two jam nuts, I put a nylock, a single nylock in there. Reason being, because of how this handle is engineered, it's really difficult to get two open-end wrenches or one open end and then a box wrench on there to really jam it. So with a single nylock, it really solved that problem. And on the Y-axis, where that was really an issue, it was really hard to get this one tight. As the machine would shake a little bit, it would loosen up. And if you have, because this is kind of in a thrust bearing arrangement, if this gets loose a little bit, the whole lead screw would kind of move around a little bit, and particularly if you're doing climb milling, it would cause your piece to kind of stall, and then it would go through the cutter real quick, and that's certainly not good for it. Made a very poor finish, so just by putting a single nylock on there really helped that problem. The parts I've machined so far, this is the spacer for the Y-axis, and the Y-axis motor mount. I put some hardware in there just to kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. Just made a couple of mistakes, but it's all part of the learning process. This is the part that I did last night using the rotary table. I'm pretty pleased with how that came out. I'm going to show what it looks like here on the machine in just a minute. But yeah, with that, I used the what do you call that? Coaxial dial indicator. That really helps center up the table, the rotary table. So I'd strongly suggest one of those. Anyway, pretty happy with this so far. I'll take this off and you can see what it looks like. So here's the stepper motor mount for the X-axis. I took the handle off just to see how that fits. It's a little tight, but it seems to go on fairly well. I'll locate a couple of holes with the transfer punch, drill it, and tap it, and we'll be off to the races. Thanks for watching.